Obviously, Roy Moore in a lot of trouble because of what he has alleged to have done. But it's interesting, and we're talking about projection here. This is a guy known for taking extreme hard lines on religious issues. He's an Islamophobe, saying that people who are Muslim shouldn't be allowed to serve, homophobe and stuff like that. And then he has this dark past when it comes to his dating history. And so JR found this video of him back in 2005 talking about homosexuality. With what you know now about his behavior, let's listen.
It's immoral. It is defined by the law as detestable. It was against the law in most states. We get our morality from the Holy Bible upon which this nation was founded. Just because it's done behind closed doors, it can still be prohibited by state law.
Yes, they get it from the Bible for what that's worth. Also back in the 90s, understand this, and this is getting even closer to his sort of behavior. In the 90s, he ruled in a divorce case that a woman who had a lesbian affair couldn't visit her children unsupervised or with her partner, writing that, quote, minor children will be detrimentally affected by the present lifestyle of the mother, also the judge. Moore was the only vote in favor of a daycare worker who raped a 12-year-old, claiming that there was no, quote, implied threat of serious physical injury. So this guy has a history of taking odd lines on abuse of children.
It's so obscene. Oh my, it's so despicable. He's so deplorable. He's an awful guy. It's great that you're reviewing this. He is a disgusting person.
He said this about homosexuality: the effect of such a lifestyle upon children must not be ignored, and the lifestyle should never be tolerated, because we have to watch out for the children and keep them pure and innocent until they hit 14, in which case I'm gonna try to take them to a cafe or something.
Again, like you said, from the very beginning, the first victim we talked about, Leigh Corfman. She was 14, sitting outside, and he said, "Oh, let's let your mother go in, and so I can be here alone with you." So, you can see where he gets his mindset of what he thinks actual sexual predators are like, because they're lesbian, or at their present lesbian exercises at the time. So she can't be left alone with her own child, but they can leave your ass alone with someone else's child.
Yeah, and so there's one other tweet I wanted to read for you. So we talked about some of the politicians on the Republican side, Senate, generally in the Senate, that are coming out against Moore, now at least. We'll see what happens if he goes on to win the election. But a journalist, Daniel Dale, has been communicating with a county chairman for the Republican Party in Alabama to see what they think. He talked with Alabama Bibb County Republican Chairman Jerry Powell. Jerry Powell told him that he'd vote for Roy Moore even if he did commit a sex crime against a girl, saying, "I would vote for him because I wouldn't want to vote for Doug. I'm not saying I support what he did."
Just saying.
If you want to hand him government authority and power after knowing the person he is, you are supporting what he did and what he is. Because everything that he's been since then should have given us pretty strong hints of the sort of lifestyle he was leading himself.
I'm telling you, man, you're gonna get tired of hearing this analogy, and you probably already are tired of hearing it. Man, if you're a Cowboys fan and then your favorite player is up on some kind of charge, you'd be like, well, I don't care, just let him finish the season because I'd like to win. This is just my fantasy team and I've got bets. So they don't actually care about the actions and activities of their favorite players. They actually just want to win and say, see, we won. I just don't want to vote for Doug. I just don't want to see the Packers win. That's all. I just don't want to see it. So please let my guy play.
And you've seen that played out at every level of government. We've seen it play out at every level of election. And we've seen the demonization of the other side to the point that, you begin to go, no, I just don't want anything. I just don't want that other side. That works both ways, by the way. I understand on our team too. But I think we call out fact. We're prone to that, to calling out fact, I think, more quickly than is the GOP.
Yeah. And so let's talk about winning, because it doesn't look like he's gonna step down. My guess is that he won't unless this pressure continues, which, with the media the way it is, nothing continues for more than 24 hours or so. And even if they tried to take him off, they'd be in a bit of a bind, because that election to replace Jeff Sessions, his seat in the Senate, is on December 12th. And according to their constitution, you can't be taken off the ballot within 76 days of an election. So unless they break the rules, and this has happened before, that name is going to be on there no matter what. We'll see how the people of Alabama respond. Now, he's been leading by about 9 points in most of the polls for the past month or so. Is trying to sleep with a 14-year-old, is that worth 9 points? I don't know in 2017 in America, but perhaps. And if a Democrat were to take that seat, which nobody expected, that would bring the Senate to 51-49, making it that much more difficult for Republicans to pass some of their priorities over the next few years. And although there would still be very little chance of the Democrats taking the Senate in 2018, it does bring it a little bit closer to the realm of possibility.
John, it's good that I work with you most days, and I'm sitting next to you now because your positive energy is like, it's helpful, but it's not gonna happen.
What's not gonna happen?
It's not gonna happen. This guy's gonna win. Easily.
His lead's
gonna increase. I'm gonna make really bad predictions.
I'm just laying out
He's gonna win by 10
roads.
to 11 points instead of the 9.
You think he's gonna gain points?
He's gonna gain points because just because of
the witch hunt that's underway on him. Is that what you're saying?
It's gonna be look
to
at
defend him.
Look at the Democrat Party.
Yeah.
They're trying to attack our boy. Oh no, I really want to stick it to them and let them know that I'm so stupid. I'm willing. Look at the quote. I don't know who that guy was. If he did commit these acts, it's okay, it's great, man. I want to support him just so I can say, yeah. That's the only reason.
It's your fantasy football sports team analogy. It really is. But John's scenario, who needs House of Cards when you've got that? I mean, that's the idea that this 11th hour fact could change an election and that a Democrat could actually win this seat. Wow.
Yeah.
But I think ultimately I side with JR. I think they sort of the ends justify the means, or however they want to do the jujitsu mentally on it.
Yeah, and look, I know we've been saying they seem the willingness of some Republicans to denounce him is, as JR said, an indication of how uncomfortable that some of them are, at least publicly, with him. Regardless of what they believe privately. But this guy, getting into office isn't just one more number making votes more difficult for the other side. Imagine what this guy can do with the higher profile he'll have. He'll be serving on committees, he'll be introducing legislation, he'll be at confirmation hearings, he will be helping to advise in the choice of Supreme Court justices and things like that. This is a terrible, terrible guy. Even in a political environment infested with some truly disgusting creatures, this guy stands out and has stood out for decades. Long before there was Trumpism, there was Mooreism, and it was disgusting. Apparently it was disgusting all the way back to the late 70s. And if this guy gets into the Senate, that will be just another really dark mark on our country.
That's a great point. It's really, with an extreme agenda of the sort that he has pursued decade after decade, we've detailed it here for you. I mean, the homophobia, the racism, the birther thing, which he always insisted upon. Even, he said, well, I still don't believe that Barack Obama, as far as I'm concerned, Barack Obama is not an American.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the kind of pig-headedness that, and that disrespects pigs that are better headed than that, so I apologize. But you get my point. Yeah, he can pursue a despicable agenda.
Exactly.
If you like this video, you probably like independent media. The best way to support independent media, become a member of the Young Turks. TYTnetwork.com/join.